When I chose to embrace my gray, it wasn't to make a statement. Think about it. Every shampoo ad, every magazine cover that we've experienced in the past, every commercial over the air, they all told us that gray hair meant we were letting ourselves go. We stopped caring about ourselves and about how we looked to other people. But for me personally, what I started to see was that people stopped caring about their authenticity. Embracing your gray is not an act of bravery. I never really thought of it that way. I actually went into this feeling a little nervous because something was going to change and it was going to be drastic. When you embrace your gray and you decide to show what really is there, it's a moment in time where you can't turn back. You got to move forward. There were a few questions that I asked myself. Would people treat me differently? Would they look at me differently? And regardless of me being gray or not, would I be invisible? I would admit that those first few months was really tough on me. Every time I looked in a mirror, I saw someone unfamiliar. And then one day I was driving in my car and I caught my reflection in the rearview mirror. And that was the day when I finally recognized who I really was. It's funny because at that moment, there were a few things that I was letting in. Number one was truth. Number two was my age. And finally, grace. I was allowing myself to age gracefully. Now, if you'd like to know how I started the process of going gray, I did some things that were a little bit more drastic than most. Number one is I first rinsed with apple cider vinegar. I thought that this was the process of releasing the hair color from the hair follicle. I did that like once a week for a few weeks. But then eventually I started to see more and more gray coming in. And I started to get a little bit of anxiety. So then I decided to do something drastic. I cut it all off into a pixie. It was a lot easier for my true gray to show through. Now, cutting it into a pixie was a really liberating experience. And I knew right there and then this was going to be a year in transition. And a lot of women took an interest in seeing my transition because many of them said that they would like to do the same, but they weren't exactly sure where to start. What was relieving after all of this was said and done was something so simple. I no longer had to worry about my roots and about regrowth and about when my next hair color was going to be. There was also some discoveries that I made. Gray hair has a tendency to be a lot more textured, wiry, and has this tendency to look dry. You really want to use a purple shampoo once a week because it helps cut those brassy notes out. And then also there's one little product that I love using, and that is an argan oil. And I use it every single day in my hair. And what it helps do is soften my look, but also adds a great deal of sheen and gloss to my hair. I absolutely love it. And it's just a little dab and you rub it in. I'll insert the video here. Now that I've been living with my gray for a few years, there's one thing that I realized. It wasn't about the hair. It was about giving myself permission to evolve and to age gracefully and to be truthful to who I really am. So let me ask you a question. If you are considering going gray, here is my advice. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Try a cut that supports the grow out and trust the process. At the end of the day, you're going to realize it was worth it. And going gray isn't about giving up. It isn't about letting yourself go. It's about showing up as your authentic self. And if you want to plant your flag on going gray, it shows wisdom, resilience, and a sense of ownership. And truthfully speaking, you're no longer hiding. Instead, you're showing off what many people are hiding. I'm Lisa Wright, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, everyone.